Welcome to the Education Exchange podcast. Today, I am your host, Sara Clawson, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist, and I'm here with Superintendent Jeremy Calles. Mr. Calles, we are coming here to talk about Commitment Day, which has now passed. But for our audience who has not tuned in before, can you please give a short recap on what that event was?
Yes, absolutely. So Commitment Day was our idea to bring all the post-secondary opportunities to our students and make them front and center for them so they can make a wise choice on what they want to do after graduation. And we set out to have 76 opportunities and start the event on the 17th because in 1776, this was the land of opportunity. Wanted to show them it still is the land of opportunity. We didn't get 76. We got 100. So went a little bit overboard. Plan on going a lot more overboard next year.
We are big ideas here at the district. So that is fantastic that you got so many partners to contribute. I know that when the students were here, we are also inviting their families to attend, parents to come, or any sort of support system that our students had. And we saw quite a few parents in the stands. Were you able to speak with any of them?
I didn't get a chance to have much conversation with parents. There were a couple that just, walked by and told me that it was a great event. They're very appreciative of it. But I did get to have a lot of good conversations with students when I was out there.
Let's talk about that because we had 4,000 students come through the stadium over the 2 days that Commitment Day was. What kind of reflections did they have or opportunities did you see them taking advantage of?
Well, when I would ask students, did you decide? Did you find your future? A lot of them would tell me, yes, absolutely. I'm going to go into welding. I'm going to be an electrician. I'm going to go to NAU. I'm going to go to ASU. I'm going to go to GCU. So they all had a response for me on what it was that they came across and decided that they want to do after high school. In some cases, I had a long conversation with students to help them figure out what they wanted to do. So to give an example, I had one student, he was asking me a lot about what I've seen in life and then talking about what his goals were for life. And one of the things that he was really interested in, he's like, I want to start my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get something off the ground that is mine. But at the same time, I know I need to go to college. Is there any way where I could be going to college and also launch a business while I'm in college? And I was like, I actually know the perfect spot for you. GCU has an entrepreneurial college, and they have students that are doing just that. And I talked to them about, the Noggin Boss hats and the Ring Me and all the other inventions they have coming out of that college. And I'm like, I think that's a good fit for you. You might want to go over there and talk to them. So he was very excited and made his way down to their booth.
That's great. And so for those students who are not college bound or even, community college bound, they're not looking at the higher ed path. We had the trade schools there and we had the military there. Did you interact with those partners that we had and see what was going on with them?
Yes, I went back over by the Marines where they had the pull-up bar going. Now, I didn't jump up there and give it my own shot. A couple decades ago, I probably could have given them a run for the money, but there were some students over there that were really knocking them out.
Yeah, they were showing off a little bit, for sure.
Made me wish for some younger days, but no, they were doing a great job, and they were interacting very well with our students. I appreciated that, the way that they kept them engaged. And some of the students told me that, yes, they felt the military was the right path for them. It could get them right into the field that they wanted to be in right away. There were some who, I saw having a lot of excitement over at the Mattel booth. They're ready to start working for Mattel even before graduation. So as soon as the park opens, we have students that are ready to be there on day one of Mattel Adventure Theme Park. So very exciting, very good mix of students who are ready to go into the workforce, want to go into workforce with just a little bit more training, and those that are like, I'd really like to get that 4-year degree first before I start entering the workforce.
We spoke with Mark Cornell, the president of the Mattel Adventure Park. During the event, he was one of the first companies to come on board, and I know he was very excited. He was on our podcast. He was one of our very first guests. And the enthusiasm he saw from the students who were approaching him, he even commented that he saw the students specifically running to his corner of the stadium to learn more and to see the products because they had the toys there. It was really hands-on. It was really cool to see. But he said that he was wanting to hire students. Like right now, he saw so many potential candidates. He loved how energetic they were, how smart they were. I think that speaks well for our students in general, but to see the partners so excited for this event too was really great.
Absolutely. And Mark's booth was one of the ones that I ran for first as well, to go say hi and see what fun toys he was able to bring out. But with each of our partners, Aviate Academy, I know there was a lot of excitement over there, and they had some nice, little airplane stress
Those were
balls to
fun. They
hand
were
out to
so
our
cute.
students. They were throwing paper airplanes before the event started. GCU had a lot of purple going on over at their booth.
Mhm.
ASU showed up in good force as well as Australia Mountain Community College. So all of our partners really, I appreciated how much effort they went into engaging our students. Even Goodwill, I saw out there with a basketball hoop,
That's
so
right.
students could play
Yeah.
a little basketball and that'll get their attention, bring them in. So I really saw a lot of efforts made, and I really appreciated it.
We spoke with ASU on the morning of the second day, before the students even got in. And the man that we spoke to, he was so tired. He said his voice was nearly hoarse from the previous day, and he was fueling up on a huge bottle of caffeinated something. And he was just like, he didn't know to expect that. He seemed very overwhelmed and just like amazed at what we were able to do and just the response. It really was amazing.
I was amazed by everyone. I was amazed by our partners putting so much effort into their booths and to be able to be there for our students. I was amazed by our staff working so hard to make sure that the event was running smoothly, at every stage, taking care of all the logistics that went into bringing this event together. And I was amazed by our students, the number of booths that they went to. I saw plenty of students who had maybe as many as 20, 30 lanyards hanging out of their
Yeah.
pocket because they had visited so many booths. Our families who came out to support our students and walked the booths with them so they could tell them the importance of making a good decision. State Farm Stadium did a phenomenal job in regards to taking care of us and being flexible. The meals that they were able to provide for our students out there. So just all around impressed with how much effort everybody put into making sure this event was a success.
So let's talk a little bit about the student experience. This was an event that was designed specifically for our seniors and all seniors. We weren't targeting, a specific population. We invited every single student, no matter what their grade point average was, or if we knew that they were headed to college or what the case may be. And I personally had an opportunity to speak with a couple of different students. One I talked to a couple of days after the event. She's a Tolleson student. She works over at the T-Town Cafe over there. And I asked her about Commitment Day. And I asked her what her plans are and if the event helps solidify her future. And she said something that I thought was it was just a successful moment of this event. She said, she doesn't exactly know what she wants to do. She thinks the college path is for her. So she's probably going to go to community college. She liked Australia Mountain Community College and what they had to offer. But while she figures that out, she stopped at the Tolleson Union High School District table. And she learned about the job opportunities that we have here. Specifically, she learned about being a bus monitor and how working for our district would supply benefits and help pay for her schooling and all of these perks that she didn't know about. That's right here. And it seemed like she had a really good plan that was something she didn't even consider before Commitment Day. The opportunity presented itself because she happened to be at the right place.
Absolutely. And I'd extend that invitation out to all of our graduating seniors. If we are graduating you, it means that we have confidence and faith in you. And if we have confidence and faith in you to go out into the workforce, that also means that we have confidence and faith in you to come back to us and be a part of our workforce. So I would extend that opportunity out to any of our students who they're not sure where to go, just come back home.
Yeah, it's just a good feeling to know that we're helping so many students either solidify the plans they already want and the dreams that they have, but to give them the opportunity to explore what else is out there.
Yes, and I was lucky enough to be walking the West Point campus a couple days after Commitment Day out there for their Jagapalooza event.
Uh-huh.
And as I came across staff and students, even staff had reactions of, the seniors, they've come back from the event and they just seem more focused than they ever were before, where they actually know that there is something that they need to do after graduation.
So commitment days are over. Next year, are we going to make some changes? The event's definitely happening, right?
Commitment Day 2.0. We're going to go bigger. So when we're looking at the future, although I want to continue to celebrate the success of this event, as I'm walking the event, I'm taking in the experience. I did notice some things I want to be better for next year. One is I know we can fit more partners into all those booths.
100 plus is not enough?
I think we can make 150 next year.
Oh, gosh.
So I know we
Okay.
can fit more into State Farm Stadium. When I look at the timing of the event, I noticed that the behaviors of the students were different based on which class they were. So if you were the last school to come through on the day of the event, by the time you finish the presentation portion of the event, those students are almost 2 hours past their lunchtime. And they were hungry. And it showed because they were the ones who rushed through the booths the fastest to get upstairs to eat. And I don't want that to be the case. We tried to make some adjustments on day 2 where I encouraged them, where it's like, hey, if you've talked to 3 booths and you need to go up there and eat, go eat. I get it. You're hungry. And then rush back down before all of these booths start leaving, which was tough to pull off because then the participants themselves, when they see that the crowd's dying out, they assume the event's ending, and I saw them start to pack up sooner. So that piece of it didn't quite flow for me. We're going to look at the logistics. We're going to try to restructure. I don't want their bellies getting in the way of their future. So definitely need to make sure that everybody's well fed so they can be focused on the task at hand, focused on making those connections. A lot of great connections were made, but that's an area where I'm like, we can do better here. The fact that State Farm was only setting up this event just for us, while I appreciated it, I know that we can get more districts to come join us. There were other district superintendents out at the event. I've been talking to other district superintendents. I believe we won't be alone next year. So
Really?
that
That is a very interesting concept.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful that we got to be the first to do this, but I think we have some neighbors that are ready to join us next year, and I think that's going to be a great thing because then State Farm will be able to set up the event one time. We all need the same partners that are out there. They can come out there and be out there for all of us, and maybe it is a week of all the seniors of the West Valley coming out there. No matter what your district is, you're coming out there over the course of that week to come meet with post-secondary opportunities, because in my mind, that's why high school exists. We have to get them to transition from being adolescents to being productive citizens, and this is the process by which we do that. We have to show them that tangible result that's at the end of graduation. So I think we're going to be able to get more districts involved next year. We'll have them out there side by side with us. I got to walk around some of their superintendents. I've talked to some of their superintendents. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 more districts add on for next year.
That's amazing. There's no competition, right, among our districts, our neighboring districts. We all have the same goal, and it's to ensure the success of our students and their future.
Yes. In public education, that is what we do. We share our best ideas with each other because even though we're here for different communities, we're all here for the same end goal of wanting to do the best we can for our students. And through collaboration, we're able to do that. So we always share our neighbors. If I need help in an area, they don't hesitate that if I say, hey, could you come out and look at how we're doing something? Or if I send them an email, I'm saying, hey, for this challenge or this issue, this is what we're thinking about doing. What are you guys doing? They don't hesitate to share, and I don't hesitate to share either.
I love that. Okay. Anything else we haven't discussed from the Commitment Day event that just happened? Any lasting thoughts or memories or, special takeaway moments?
I would say, for everyone that was there for the beginning, this first year, I'd really like to see where the first class is 5, 10 years from now. I really put a challenge out to our seniors that when they graduate, I'd love it if they come across stage and just tell me where they're going. So if they made their decision and they're like ASU, NAU, U of A, GCU, they're going to come across the stage, whatever it is. I'm working for Mattel. I'm already there. Like for them just to say something at graduation that would be special. So that way I know that they already have a path. But then 5, 10 years from now, to be able to come back and talk to our students and let them know, hey, I found my path at commitment day. Like that would be special, and it'd be meaningful for the next generation that comes behind them. Outside of that, we got to look at the other end of the spectrum. And I know there are going to be students where regret may already be setting in, where they didn't really give the event the full weight of attention that it deserved, and they're hanging out with their friends and having fun kind of got the best of them, and maybe they rushed through the event and went upstairs. I saw some students who made it up to lunch within 5 minutes. If there's a student that's in that boat, I want them to know that yes, fully taking in that event, the event is past, and yes, an event like that doesn't just come back for you again. But there's still opportunities. We have counselors at every school, and we now have these connections with all of these organizations, which means we have an open channel to all of these opportunities for them. So if there's a senior out there who's thinking, man, I wish I would have taken more advantage of that event, or if there's a senior who's like, I was sick that day, I missed it, we were out of town, I had to go attend this other event for my family. If there's anyone who's out there feeling like they missed it, the moment's gone, and they don't have those opportunities back, I'd invite them to visit our Commitment Day page, see all the partners that we had available, that we still have available for them, and either reach out to their counselor, reach out to their principal. They could reach out to me directly if they needed to, but reach out. And if you see something that's a good connection for you, we can still get you connected. I don't want them thinking that, all hope is lost here. We can still get you connected with those opportunities and get you on that path.
It's still early in the school year. I don't think it would be fair for us to assume that people who went to the event and committed to something are going to keep that commitment, or that they're not going to find another opportunity that's a better fit for them.
Well, and that's why we asked them to talk to at least 3.
Yeah.
One of the, I shoot from the hip, so not every presentation was delivered exactly the same. But I know at least in one of them, I said, this is like when you're at the mall, and you're hungry, so you're gonna go start walking to the food court, and you might have your heart set on pizza when you start walking over there, but you get over there and you know what, Panera's looking pretty good, and you change your mind and you head over to Panera. That's fine, because you've already traveled the distance to get to the food court. And now when you see something better, yes, it's easy enough to pivot and make another choice. But if you're sitting at Dillard's and just imagining what might be at the food court, and 30 minutes later, you're still thinking, well, I don't know, do I want pizza, Panera, Orange Julius, whatever. Like, if you're still sitting in Dillard's, you're not one step closer to where you need to be. You needed to go in that direction, start moving in that direction. It's easier to pivot when you're already there than it is to start from scratch and still need to make the journey. So yeah, they'll change their mind, and that's fine. They will get into careers. I try to share a lot of my examples as I could through each of the presentations, and I was telling them, how many different things I've been in life. Like I've been dozens of things. Like, it wasn't like I picked one thing and I just stayed with that forever. It's okay to keep changing who you are.
Yeah. We were actually having that same conversation. All of the different jobs we've had that have taken us to where we are now. Like, life is just that way.
Yeah, it's and when I was in the room with other superintendents and I was telling them about Commitment Day, along with a couple of other our goals we have around changing the high school experience, I told them, I was like, think about your own life. How many of you, when you were in high school, were like, I want to be a school district superintendent? No hands went up.
Yeah, probably not many.
No, not many. None. 0 hands went up of people who were thinking someday I want to be a school district superintendent. That was never the intended path. Myself included. I was a soldier. I was an accountant. I worked warehouse. I did a paper route at 11. Like, I had so many random things in my life, and then eventually I'm in this seat. It's like, this was never the first pick. I mean, if you would have told me, 3-4 years ago that I was going to be a superintendent, I would be like, no, actually, no, I'm doing well with consulting. That's what I'm doing next. I'm going to just focus on consulting. It wasn't until the opportunity presented itself that I even changed my mind to be in this seat. So that's how life works, and that's why the students need to always keep multiple plans, and they have to quit thinking that there is just one thing that is going to be a silver bullet and totally satisfy their lives. I don't care if you want to play in the NFL. Tom Brady is now broadcasting and he's the GOAT. Like, there's still going to be something else for you.
So the Education Exchange podcast, what does the future look for this podcast?
We'll talk about something that's ready to pivot. So all of our focus originally has been on all the partners that we're going to bring out to Commitment Day, but it's going to start to stand for a lot more than just that. Because when it comes to education, there is the full experience. There is everything that our students experience. There is everything that our parents experience. There's even the political side of it. And there is what is the future of education. There is so much more that we need to cover when we talk about education. And education itself it's not static. It's ever changing. And that's what the podcast is going to be. It's going to be ever changing, focus on the things that are relevant at the time, while still having some evergreen presentations that you can cycle back to and help you make decisions or become informed about different parts of education, whether it's during your high school years, your post-secondary years. It's going to contain all those types of episodes. So our next focus is going to be a focus on the high school experience and to bring to the forefront all the different decisions that students make during their high school years that impact that high school experience. So we'll have guests on here who talk about all of our different programs and all of our different opportunities, whether it's clubs, academics, athletics. We're going to bring all that on here, and we're going to make sure that both parents and students are aware of these opportunities, because we need to get people to stop being willing to slip through the cracks. We don't want you to fall into your path by chance or by luck. We want it to happen by design. And in order for that to happen by design, you have to be fully aware of all the possibilities. And so we're going to start to highlight all the possibilities, beginning with, if you're a brand new freshman, what are your possibilities at Tolleson Union High School District?
Before you even step foot on a campus, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you, Superintendent Calles. As always, on the Education Exchange, we aim to enlighten our parents and empower our students. As we say goodbye today, we invite you to listen to some sounds and images from Commitment Day.
I didn't know most of these colleges and programs existed until today.
It's honestly crushing my expectations. I think this venue is super cool.
I've actually lost my voice after 2 days, but it was certainly worth it.
It was really informative, seeing all the schools and programs they have. We had a great interaction with the students.
A lot of bright young minds that looking for the next career opportunity.
I'm ready to graduate. Nervous, but I'm ready. I feel pretty confident.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, want more information, or would like to be a guest on the Education Exchange, please send us an email at podcast@tuhsd.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and tune in next week to the Education Exchange. You can catch all episodes on your favorite streaming devices or directly at www.tuhsd.org/podcast.